And it's time for Media Watch. James Creedon is here with us in the studio. It's good to see you, James. And you're taking us back to one of those top stories. That is the growing spat between Turkey and Western Europe, more specifically the Netherlands and Germany. The Turkish president has compared the governments of those two countries to Nazis in the last few days. And he says he is now pursuing diplomatic sanctions against the Netherlands. This one is not calming down anytime
Certainly
soon.
not. And you can see a lot of it on the front pages of the newspapers in each country and on social media. We'll start with the front page of De Telegraaf, a Dutch newspaper, and what you can see here is the headline, "We are the boss here," and it shows a Turkish protester in an altercation with a police officer. This is a Turkish tabloid, Aksam, and they are taking the words of Erdogan vis-a-vis Nazism applied to these European countries, and they're talking about Nazi dogs. And that's a reference to the Dutch police. So you can see, really, it's extremely nasty. And that's a Dutch cartoonist, I suppose, picking up on that tension with, well, for some reason, a cow depicting the Netherlands kicking a wolf that looks pretty unhappy. Elsewhere, those comments getting a lot of reaction. Erdogan violates human rights and tries to move Turkey backwards, says this Dutch commentator Boris van der Ham. And he's teaching the Netherlands about diplomacy and freedom. I suppose he left himself open to a certain amount of criticism in that regard, because this referendum is all in a bid to increase the president's authority. And that's been criticised for, I suppose, veering towards authoritarianism.
This is a country where journalists, teachers, soldiers have all been put in jail and detained over having links to that failed coup last summer.
That's right. There was even a Dutch journalist arrested last April as well. Now, in any case, the history books are being dug open, and the fact that there was a non-aggression pact between Turkey and Germany during the war is being mentioned. In other words, don't call us Nazis. You were talking to them at the time. This is what Rotterdam looked like after the actual Nazis paid a visit. So many pointing out too that the Dutch, of course, suffered at the hands of Nazi Germany, or suffered aggression because of the war. In any case, the fact that the Dutch have not been the only ones accused of Nazism, the Germans themselves, who were
It is one of his favourite insults. It has
that's
to be
right.
said, isn't it?
It's just thrown about left, right and centre. So that's one cartoon picking up on that. Wants to establish a dictatorship by legal means, accuses others of Nazi practices. So look, lots of that. Now, I think I'll just conclude vis-a-vis Turkey with this cartoon showing all of the sort of non-team playing aspects of the EU, I suppose, between Brexit, between the fact that France and the Netherlands weren't necessarily on the same page vis-a-vis what to do about this campaigning for the Turkish referendum. Right. So you can see there that the European players, who I guess should be playing on the same team, are actually, well, competing with each other. There's footballs being kicked into people's chests and stomachs, and the Dutch player there actually kicking a ball into Erdogan's stomach. So
let's not forget
showing the chaos.
Right, and they're allies in NATO, of course.
That's right. And you can see there they're not even playing the same sport. You've got tennis and football. So I think it's an illustration of the fractures in terms of foreign policy.
It's all getting pretty nasty,
diplomacy.
Isn't it? Yes. Absolutely. All right, let's talk a bit about French politics. You're going to bring us a revelation about François Hollande, one that is not necessarily helpful. Helpful to whom? I don't know.
That's right. It's just endless for François Fillon. This week he will on Wednesday probably be on front of the judges.
Oh, you're talking about François Fillon, because here you're telling me you're talking about François Hollande.
Sorry.
We're mixing up our François here.
Too many François.
François Hollande, the current president, hasn't been seen much in the last few days.
No.
François Fillon, we've all seen a lot of him lately.
Yes.
Because he, of course, is trying to be the next president, but is having a lot of problems doing so.
Difficult time. He wanted to present his programme today in a detailed manner, which is essentially a programme of austerity. It's been likened to Margaret Thatcher's policies, etc. But he just can't get away from various scandals, large or small, on the front pages. The latest one came yesterday in the Journal du Dimanche newspaper, saying that a friend of his has been buying him suits to the tune of €13,000, various figures being bandied about.
Nice friends, if you can find them.
That's right. So, of course, the whole issue is there a vested interest? Is this a way of paying for favours in some way, shape or form? François Fillon says this is completely there's nothing wrong with this whatsoever. But the Financial Times...
He doesn't deny it. He says, yeah.
That's right. He hasn't denied it.
It's not helping his image, is it really?
Certainly not. François Fillon says France must cut its cloth. That's a reference to his austerity. Even as the cut of his own cloth obsesses the nation. And this comes hot on the heels of a caricature that was doing the rounds, that was on the website, in fact, of François Fillon's campaign, depicting Emmanuel Macron as, well, it's taking 1930s iconography about Jewish bankers, essentially. He did work for for the Rothschild Bank for a couple of years. But this is something that Emmanuel Macron is very unhappy about, and his movement is actually going to press charges. This was on the website. It was circulated amongst François Fillon supporters. It was on the website of his campaign. In any case, as this headline in the satirical Graphy says, I'm not sure if we're going to see the whole thing. François Fillon, no scandal for a few minutes.
Yes.
Because basically every couple of minutes there's something.
Did you see the meme of the very famous clip everyone's seen now of the guy on Skype when the children come in the room?
Is this it?
Oh, you've got it.
There you go.
That is what I wanted to see.
Basically, the video
hilarious.
that was...
Can we see the whole thing?
The video that was the viral video of the weekend.
Brilliant. Look.
Where you had a Korean
Penelope.
specialist. And so here you have it basically, it's picking up on that viral trend. You've got Penelope, his wife, coming in.
Is that Alain Juppé?
Alain Juppé, the plan B that never was. And then François Baroin, who is being tipped to possibly take over at some point. So look, François Fillon not being allowed to forget any of...
It's funny all over again.
Exactly.
Excellent. James, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Laura.
James Creedon with all the best stuff from the internet. Now,